Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Jacob, and welcome back to another episode of the GOAT Fantasy Football League. As always, this is the series where I go through and provide you with weekly updates about the Fantasy Football League that I'm in with my friends. Today's episode, we're going to go ahead and look at the scores from the Week 8 matchups and also take a look at the Donkey of the Week. There's not going to be any camera in this episode only because my daughter and my dog combined to break my ring light. So no ring light, no lighting, no camera. Thank you guys for all the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the scores. Okay, we're gonna get things started off with the matchup of the week. We had the comebacks versus myself, stiff armed and dangerous, and Brandon won this matchup 166 to 152. His matchup of the week definitely lived up to it. I mean, it was a high scoring matchup. Yeah, I believe Brandon was the second highest scorer, and I was the third highest scorer of the week. So, on my side, I was led by Derrick Henry, who had an absolutely monster game. He had 219 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. I also had Stephon Diggs, always doing his thing, 6 for 108 and a touchdown. I also got a good game from Kyle Pitts as well. But it wasn't enough to take down Brandon's team because he had some monster games from his players as well. He had Christian McCaffrey drop 39. This dude had a passing, a rushing, and a receiving touchdown all in the same game. And he also had Alvin Kamara drop 3 touchdowns as well. And Dak Prescott, finally coming back from the injury and looking like his old self, dropping 3 touchdowns as well. So just with those the 3 players, he had 9 touchdowns. It's hard to beat that. But there was a chance for me to win if I would have played Garrett Wilson, who had 22 points. If I would have played him instead of Christian Kirk, I would have won by 1 point. But I can't take anything away from Brandon, man. His team definitely balled out, and GG's to him. On to our next matchup, we had a new team name. Jordan changed his name from Sean's favorite therapist to So Good It Hurts. So we had So Good It Hurts against To Infinity and Beyond, and Jordan won this matchup 116 to 112. This was one of the closer matchups we had. Definitely came down to the wire. Jordy needed, I believe it was 9 points from Joe Mixon on the Monday night game, and he gave him 12 to secure the win. On Moya's side, we had that stack of Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle. They absolutely balled against the Detroit Lions. I mean, Jalen Waddle had 8 catches, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Tua had 382 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Those dudes definitely balled out, but he definitely could have used some help from Devontae Adams. He only gave him 1 point, and from a player of his caliber, you're definitely expecting more than 1 point. But honestly, all the Raiders shit the bed, bro. And on Jordy's side, he had a couple studs as well. He had Jalen Hurts with 285 and 4 passing touchdowns. Dude absolutely balled. He also had Travis Etienne balled out again. He had 156 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And Brandon Ayuk coming through with another solid week as well. Yeah, Jordy's team balled. GG's to Jordy. On to our next matchup, we had Pay Lamar versus the SA Donkeys. Jay destroyed Larry this week. He had 199 to 125. Honestly, Larry's team didn't even do that bad. He still put up 125 points. I believe now Larry's team been getting over 120 consistently. He was led by Dalvin Cook. He had 111 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had a monster game for Tony Pollard, who filled in for Zeke. He had 131 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. But besides those 2 players, no one else on his team really did anything great. The same definitely can't be said for Jay's team. Everyone absolutely balled out for Jay's team, man. D-Hop had 12 catches, 159 yards, and a touchdown. And he also had Tyreek Hill give him 35, 12 catches, 188 yards. He did it all. He put up 35 points with no touchdowns, bro. That's absolutely crazy. And he also had Nick Chubb. He's been doing this all year. 101 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Arguably, you could quote unquote say that the worst person on Jay's team was Justin Jefferson, who dropped 15 points. And if Justin Jefferson is the worst person on your team, that's a good thing. Yeah, Jay's team is honestly looking unstoppable at this point. He's leading our league in points right now. He put up 199. His team's not even at full strength. He had Patrick Mahomes on bye week. So I imagine if Patrick Mahomes was playing, he probably would have went over 200 points. On to our next matchup, we had Let's Ride taking on Austin City Limits. Franco won this matchup 141 to 121. Team definitely didn't do terrible. I mean, he could have got a better game from Josh Jacobs, but honestly, anybody on the Raiders just kind of shit the bed this week. If he gets a better game, he might have won this matchup. But ultimately, he just didn't have that ceiling game that you're looking for to win you a week. And a prime example of that is A.J. Brown dropping 44 points, 6 catches, 156 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was enough to lead Franco to the win this week. And he also got some help from Terry McLaurin, who had 22. And in our last matchup, we had Anything Is Possible versus the Cold-Blooded Kylers. Aaron won this one 127-92. Yeah, Aaron's team, they didn't have a monster week, but he still had some good performers. He had Amari Cooper showing out in the Monday night game. Cooper Kupp always doing his thing, and Kyler Murray as well. I guess he decided to put the controller down and start practicing a little more. He had a 326 and 3 touchdowns. Still managed to score 29 points, even though he threw 2 interceptions. And on the rest of the side, his team just didn't perform like he needed them to. Mark Andrews, of course, he got injured. He could have had a bigger week. Jonathan Taylor, man, he also got hurt for a little bit in the game. He fumbled too, and man, he just didn't perform like he should have in what was a relatively good matchup. The high score, all in all, Andres really just didn't have the high scores this week. I mean, Lamar Jackson was his highest score on his team with 21. That being said, Andres was the lowest scorer this week. Only put up 92, so he's this week's Donkey of the Week. Feels good to finally have a new face on the Donkey of the Week. We've had a couple of repeats, but finally we get someone new. Yeah, Andres has probably been one of the more cockier, confident fantasy managers that we've seen this year. I believe some of that confidence comes from the fact that his favorite team, the little Tweety Birds, have the best record in the NFL. But Andres has to realize that just because his NFL team is doing good doesn't mean that his fantasy football team is doing good. I know he said his team is built for the playoffs, but he's definitely having a little injury bug right now. He got Mark Andrews and Jonathan Taylor. They say he's healthy, but I don't know. I think that ankle is still giving him some issues. He only put up 5 points this week, and he kind of needs to start getting some wins, given the fact that he doesn't have a playoff spot secured yet. I mean, he's right on the cusp of it, but if he was in our division, he definitely wouldn't have a playoff spot secured. But that's saying something. If he doesn't have it secured in his division, maybe his team's not as good as he thinks he is. I said it once and I said it before. This is karma for trying to fleece Franco. Andres swore he was some sort of mastermind cooking up this master plan, looking like twiddling his fingers together, like, like doing an evil laugh type shit. But it's not coming through. If anyone wants to turn it around, it probably would be Andres. But if anyone wants to choke, it would also be Andres. Wear this title with honor. This week's Donkey of the Week. Alrighty, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know how you did this week. Did you catch a dub, catch a L? Did you tie? Go ahead and let me know down below. Also, don't forget to click the bell to turn the notifications on so you never miss another episode. That's all I have for you today. I will see you on the next episode when we go through the updated standings and take a look at the Week 9 matchups and the matchup of the week. Later. Miss Juicy, baby. Okay.